Alrighty, hi grade 7s, grade 7A, this is fantastic. Another lesson, another class, another unit. We're on a new unit, we're looking at expressions of culture. I'm kind of trying out this new mic, so I'm not actually going to be on camera today. We're just going to have this slideshow with my voice, and that's all there is to it. So what are expressions of culture? What comes to mind first when you imagine expressing your thoughts and your feelings? Perhaps talking about them. Language is one of the expressions of culture. So are the arts, music, dance, and stories. Even sports and games can be expressions of culture. Expressions are ways people show their thoughts and their feelings and values and beliefs. Just like we all do at King's Edgeshell all the time. We're always showing our culture through various different methods. We talked about that before in class. In this unit, you will explore expressions of culture in a different part of the world, in West Africa. Do you know how many different countries there are in West Africa? There are many, you can count them right on that map there. And how many different cultures? We will start with a look at geography of Africa as a whole, and then West Africa in particular. So for the first two classes, actually, you guys will be working on a little map assignment, or actually it's quite a big map assignment, because Africa is massive, and I want you guys to know and understand just how massive Africa is. The geography of Africa, think back to what we learned about ecozones. Do you recall what the two main ecozones in Africa were? If you answered desert and savanna grassland, you're right. You have also learned about thematic maps and making comparisons. Now you can use your knowledge about ecozones and your map reading skills to find out a lot more about Africa. Maps don't only tell us where countries are or where capital cities are. Maps tell us a whole lot. Some maps will tell you what kind of animals are located in different areas. Some maps will tell you what sort of land features are there. If you look at this map right here, we see all the countries in Africa located on that map, as well as major features. You have lakes, Lake Chad, for example, or Lake Tanganyika down by Tanzania. Lake Malawi. That's actually very close to where we worked with our team that went to Kilimanjaro last fall. So land use and resources in Africa. What is the theme of this map? You can see in the map on the last slide how the Sahara Desert created a barrier to travel in the past before highways and air travel. Yet people have traveled back and forth from the Middle East to the sub-Saharan Africa for centuries. They've always traveled through that area in northern Africa. And we wonder, why do you think people would make the difficult journey across the Sahara? Well, look at this map and tell me if you see anything interesting that maybe there's some sort of resources up there that they couldn't get down below. How would they have traveled? What similar things happened in Atlantic Canada? Did something similar happen in Atlantic Canada years and years ago when we couldn't necessarily, it wasn't easy to travel with planes and cars? Did people still travel? It's a really good question to ask yourself. So for this assignment, this is going to take a couple of days. I've been getting you off the computer, which is great, and this is going to happen again. We're going to get off the computer. This assignment will take 2 classes, so it'll be today and tomorrow. So this is Tuesday and Wednesday. Please do not rush through this assignment. On a blank sheet of paper, it can be a big sheet of paper, as big as you got, really, because it's a big country. So if you have a big sheet of paper, that's great, but it also works on just a regular sheet of print paper. I want you to use Google Maps and the internet as a resource and complete the following map assignment. Draw an outline of Africa, which is that shape you can see. You can trace that if you can maybe do that. If you can blow an image up on Google Maps and then you could trace it off your iPad or something, whatever you'd like to do, that's fine. Or if you would even like to print out some sort of a you can get your parents to help you out with this, but you could probably find, I'm sure you could easily find online just a template of Africa. I'd be happy with that. But also it's pretty easy to just draw out that shape because it's a pretty easy shape for a country. So draw an outline of Africa, and then I want you to draw or trace the borders and label each country. So there are many borders here. They do not need to be perfect, as we've done before, but they need to be quite quite close they don't need to be perfect, but they need to be very carefully drawn out, because you have 54 countries to fit in there. Again, this is not going to be something you can finish in about 2 minutes. This is going to take a long time, but it's going to be really neat afterwards, because you'll have this beautiful handmade map of Africa. Then I want you to label the major rivers and any other bodies of water, which you can see in the other maps that were on the previous slides, and any map that you find online of Africa, you'll find those major rivers. I want the major ones, right? One that I can think of right now is the Nile River, the longest river in the world. It's massive, and that is located in Egypt, of course. Then I want you to locate and label at least 10 capital cities. You can choose 10 of those 54 countries to decide. It doesn't matter which ones, but I want you to find 10 capital cities, locate them, and write them in. Then I want you to locate and label the Sahara Desert. That's the final little bit, because we're going to be working with that a little bit. It has to do, we're going to be focusing a lot of our time on West Africa soon, but I'd like you to show me where the Sahara Desert is, because that is important. That's all for now, folks. Have a great time, enjoy, and we will see you shortly. Thank you.